Meeting called to order. The time is 7 o'clock. Public portion of the meeting begins. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the rights of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Business Administrator Board Secretary has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, communicated to the Herald News, the Record, and filed with the clerk of the Borough of Hawthorne. Roll call, please.
Mr. Carr?
Present.
Mr. Clavijo?
Here.
Mr. Doyle?
Here.
Ms. Arentraut?
Here.
Dr. Morell? Mr. Palouse?
Here.
Mr. Shortway?
Here.
Mr. Totaro?
Present.
Mrs. Goff?
Here. Please join me for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll now turn the meeting over to Mr. Clavijo.
Thank you, Madam President. Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Administration recommends the following resolution. A1 on page 2, whereas in the observance of Youth in the Community Week, students have been designated in the place instead of the respective members of the Hawthorne Board of Education, and whereas the said students shall conduct the business of the said board under the direction of the duly elected board members, and now therefore be resolved by the Hawthorne Board of Education of the Borough of Hawthorne in Passaic County that any and or all actions on behalf of the said board are hereby and herewith ratified and confirmed as the official actions of the Board of Education as if the same were acting directly and in person. Board members and their participating student counterparts. Board of Education President Abigail Goff, student counterpart Leah Alves. Alex Clavijo, Vice President, student counterpart Xavier Clavijo. Board of Education Joseph Carr, Trustee. Student counterpart Emily Backer. Board of Education Trustee Michael Doyle. Student counterpart Ava Iovino. Board of Education Trustee Jennifer Arentraut. Student counterpart Sophia Basilone. Board of Education Trustee Anthony Palouse. Student counterpart Bella Palouse. Board of Education Trustee Jay Shortway. Student counterpart Bree Counselor. Board of Education Trustee Marco Totaro. Student counterpart Logan Sakir. Board of Education Superintendent of Schools Dr. Spirito. Student counterpart Paul Durr. Cheryl Ambrose, Business Administrator, and student counterpart Emily Barbieri. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavijo?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Arentraut?
Yes.
Mr. Palouse?
Yes.
Mr. Shortway?
Yes.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Mrs. Goff?
Yes.
Meeting regulations. During each regular meeting, 2 opportunities are provided for citizens to ask questions and make comments. During the first opportunity, early on the agenda, the meeting is open to the public for the purpose of addressing items listed for approval on this agenda only. The second opportunity occurs just prior to adjournment, when citizens may address any subject matter that is pertinent to and/or directly related to the operation of the school district. Persons wishing to speak must, upon being recognized, rise, state their name, address, and subject matter. Comments and questions shall be addressed to the board president or the presiding officer and shall be limited to 5 minutes per person. The board may or may not respond to issues raised by members of the public at the time they are raised, but will provide a response if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Please note that the board will not respond to comments regarding students or board employees in light of the privacy rights held by those individuals. Moreover, the board discourages comments about such individuals and will not be responsible for such comments. Members of the public who choose to speak during this public session should carefully consider their comments, since they could be held personally liable for any statements they make. Finally, please note that in accordance with district policy, the board will not officially comment or respond to any matter mentioned unless it can confirm that the matter has first been brought to the attention of the appropriate school personnel in any attempt to resolve the issue. Public be heard, agenda items only. Approval of minutes, April 18th, 2023, regular meeting, public and private. Motion? Second.
Who was the
Who was the motion? Sophia?
Motion by Ms. Bath-Sloan, seconded by Ms. Palouse. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clavijo.
Here.
Ms. Iovino.
Yes.
Ms. Baslow.
Yes.
Ms. Christensen. Ms. Palouse.
Yes.
Ms. Counselor.
Yes.
Mr. Sakir.
Yes.
Ms. Backer.
Yes.
Ms. Alves.
Yes. Correspondence? There is none. Reports, Student Council Representatives Report, Paul Dewar.
Okay. So, Mr. Dewar and I are going to tag team this thing tonight. So before we get to Mr. Dewar's numerous reports tonight, what I would like to do is just recognize Mr. Dewar, who's been our student representative throughout this entire school year. He's attended all of our board meetings. He's provided updates on behalf of Hawthorne High School to share all the many events that happened throughout the year. He has contributed in numerous ways to this board, and we all of our board members, all the board members here tonight would like to thank Mr. Dewar for his dedication to this role. He has done an outstanding job, and what I'd like to do is just read the resolution here and then present Paul with a little certificate. So it says, Paul Dewar has served as a student representative to the board during the 2022-23 school year. It is recommended that the board approve the following resolution of appreciation in honor of Paul. Whereas Paul Dewar has served as the student representative to the Board of Education during the 2022-2023 school year, and whereas it has been his responsibility to voice the student perspective to the board at their public meetings, and whereas he has been diligent and conscientious in attending the Board of Education meetings, and whereas he has conducted himself with poise and courtesy while listening attentively to many lengthy discussions pertaining to the governance of the school district, and whereas he has presented thoughtful and informative reports to the Board of Education on issues and events at the high school, including his own quotes, which he's added to each meeting. Whereas he has volunteered as a student ambassador and a National Honor Society tutor. Whereas he has been a member of the National Honor Society and has participated in the class cabinet, the student council, the journalism club, the percussion ensemble, the creative writing club, peer leaders, the chamber chorus, the jazz band, the marching band, and the theater department. Whereas he has made donations to the Hawthorne High School and to the student council, and whereas he has written and published 6 historical fiction books and received first place student recognition award for the 7 northern counties of New Jersey by the New Jersey Council for the Social Studies. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of the Hawthorne Board of Education express their gratitude and appreciation to Paul Dewar for his service to the student body and Board of Education, and send him their best wishes for success in all his future endeavors. Thank you, Paul. On behalf of Paul, a certificate we'd like to present to Paul tonight. On behalf of the board, we also have a little Go Bears pen for you.
Thank you.
A little novelty pen for you. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Great job. Great job. Great job. All right, with that said, it's all yours, sir.
One more time around the block. Hello everyone and welcome to the series finale of my Board of Education reports. The next 2 months at HHS are fraught with events, days off including unused snow days, dinners, banquets, and all manner of celebratory events including our beloved standardized testing and AP tests. Until then, please enjoy my last Board of Ed report. The Creative Writing Club is hosting Poetry Day on May 24th in the courtyard. We are excited to host again this year. There will be many writing activities and music playing to celebrate. English and history classes are welcome to attend this event. The class of 2023 is still completing prom signups. If you have any questions regarding prom signups, please contact Mrs. Redmersky or Mrs. Cutler-Chuck as soon as possible. The senior trip signups are taking place soon. The senior class will be going to Dorney Park on June 15th. The Hawthorne High School Music Department will be hosting their annual spring concert on May 25th at 7:30 p.m. in the HHS Auditorium, including performances by our concert band, jazz band, choir, and more. The HHS Marching Band will also be hosting their annual end-of-year dinner on June 6th at the Brownstone, which is also the reason this is my last report. The Art Department will be hosting their annual art show on May 19th in the HHS Courtyard from 8 to 4 p.m. Sophomores and juniors interested in running for next year's Student Council Exec Board met this month. Our Student Council elections will take place on June 7th during lunch. As the spring sports season begins to wind down after an exceedingly busy and successful season, we would like to extend our most sincere thanks to all of our athletes, particularly our student athletes who move on to compete beyond high school and otherwise. We thank you for your continued time and commitment. The Hawthorne High School Library Media Center will highlight 3 important national events this month: Jewish American Heritage Month, Asian Pacific Islander American Heritage Month, and Mental Health Awareness Month. For each theme, the library offers faculty and instructional materials and resources and engages students in the library, book displays, the bulletin board, informational materials, daily morning announcements, posted flyers, social media postings, and relevant books. In between these activities, Mrs. DiGeronimo is busy this month proctoring AP and NJSLA tests in the Library Media Center. This concludes the final Board of Education report that I will deliver. I end the official report with this quote: "I destroy my enemies when I make them my friends." Abraham Lincoln. I have a few closing remarks on my experience here at the Board of Ed, which I will now share. My experience here on the Hawthorne Board of Education has been valuable, memorable, and a cherishable experience. It has given me invaluable experience to bring into uncharted territory, an opportunity to develop relationships in candor with the members of the board. It has given me a new perspective on the operation and organization of this school district. And for all of this, I sincerely thank everyone sitting around me for allowing me the honor, the pleasure, and the privilege of sitting among them. Thank you, and be sure to visit www.paulbdewar.com for all your historical fiction, presentation, and authoring needs. Thank you, and farewell, Hawthorne Board of Education. So it's my turn again?
It's your turn again.
Okay.
Yes, we know. Yes. He's still going.
Okay. Hang in there. Hi, I'm Dr. Sparino. We have already held numerous end-of-year events, including our HHS Spring production and the LMS drama production. Congratulations to all the students who did an outstanding job in these well-attended performances. We have many more exciting events ahead. Please check the calendar on the school district websites for more details regarding these and other end-of-year events. Thank you to everyone who supported the CPAC Color Run this past Sunday morning. It was a beautiful day for the event, which is unusual as it normally rains. Also, congratulations to Xavier Clavijo and Mr. Pfister for finishing first and third in this 5K event. I also want to thank everyone who supported the Wellness Walk on Sunday afternoon at HHS. This walk was sponsored by the Borough's Stigma-Free Community Committee, along with the Hawthorne Public Schools. The event, as part of Mental Health Awareness Month, helps to raise awareness, reduce the stigma associated with mental health, and encourages people to prioritize their mental health. Special thanks to Jim Bushoven for organizing the event. I encourage all members of our community to view the Bears Decisions 2023 Instagram page to see all of the amazing schools our HHS seniors have been accepted to. We have shared the link to this page on all of our social media accounts. I would also ask all of the seniors here tonight to share their post-high school plans for the fall. Back to Dr. Sparino.
Let's do that. If we could, real quick, if you don't mind, starting with Bella, just share where you're headed in the fall, what school you're headed to.
I'm going to NJIT.
Study what, Bella? What are you going to study?
Civil engineering.
Outstanding.
I'm going to Quinnipiac University to study film, TV, and media arts.
I'm going to William Patterson to study finance and computer science.
I will be attending Rutgers University, New Brunswick for history.
I will also be attending Rutgers University, New Brunswick, for the 6-year PharmD program.
I'll be attending NYU, and I'm studying journalism.
I'll be attending Lehigh and I'm studying accounting.
I'll be attending the one and only Hawthorne High School.
I'll be attending Gettysburg College, studying health sciences.
Okay, it's my turn again. So we are very excited to have all of you here tonight and to be honoring our Governor's Educators of the Year and our Educational Services Professionals of the Year. And Paul and I are going to do that in just a moment. However, before we engage in that, in honoring those teachers, I'd like to take a moment to recognize another teacher, Dawn Moore. This past weekend, we received the sad news that our friend and colleague, Dawn Moore, passed away after a long battle with cancer. Dawn began her tenure in Hawthorne in 1999 and spent the last 20-plus years at Jefferson School. Was also, coincidentally, Teacher of the Year in 2001-2002. Although Dawn worked in numerous capacities, most recently Dawn was assigned to a 5th grade classroom at Jefferson. Unfortunately, she started this school year on medical leave and retired for medical reasons on April 1st, 2023. Dawn was a trusted friend, respected teacher, and beloved member of our school and community for over 20 years. And we thank Dawn for her many years of dedicated service to our students and our colleagues at Jefferson School. Our thoughts and prayers are with Dawn's family, loved one, and friends during this difficult time. She will be missed. Thank you. So, there's no easy way to transition from that, so we're just going to jump right into our honoring our teachers and educational services professionals who are here with us tonight. So what we'd like to do is Paul and I are going to take a step in the front of the table here, and we're going to ask Mrs. Fadden or Ms. Farkas, I'm not sure if you're both going to join us, please come to the front and join us so that we can honor these exemplary educators here in Hawthorne. All right, yeah. Go that way, it's easier.
Good evening. As part of our Teacher Appreciation Week celebration, tonight we are excited to welcome and recognize all of our Governor Educators of the Year and our Educational Services Professionals of the Year. These staff members will also be formally recognized at a countywide luncheon on May 15th at the Brownstone. And that said, at this time we would like to say a few words about each honoree and ask them to join us at the front of the auditorium. Our first recipient is from Hawthorne High School, Mrs. Cynthia Dockray. Please allow me to share a few words. Please allow me to share a few words on behalf of the high school administration. Ms. Dockray is an incredibly passionate teacher about being an educator for all students. Her enthusiasm resonates with the students as well as our families and staff. She has built and successfully implemented the Culinary Arts program at Hawthorne High School. This is by far one of the most popular programs in our high school. She is also instrumental in the design and state-of-the-art culinary arts classroom. She is a dynamic teacher and advisor and is always trying to maximize student participation and success inside and outside of her class. She invests the time daily to get to know each student and tailors her approach to the student's interests. This can be seen in her ability to embrace and celebrate the different cultures and heritages of our diverse student body. She has an excellent rapport with the students and serves as a role model to not only our students but our staff. She always explores and experiments with world-famous cuisines to expose students' connections between food and culture. She does this while keeping students' safety at the forefront of her pedagogical practices by ensuring all student allergies are appropriately met. Aside from being an inclusive and caring educator, Mrs. Dockray is an advisor to SHARE, Students of Hawthorne Acting Responsibly and Effectively, which has a long history of teaching our students the need and the value of helping others. These donations were used to help to support local Hawthorne families in need. Ms. Dockeray was truly an asset to the Hawthorne Public Schools community, and we are so very lucky to have her. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Cynthia Dockeray.
We're going to take a picture at the end. We'll come back. We're going to bring everybody back up and take a picture at the end of everyone. One down. So you need water?
We're going to keep going. Okay. Our next honoree is Mrs. Carol Denise. Mrs. Denise couldn't be with us tonight, but I wanted to share a few words about Mrs. Denise. Mrs. Denise is an extraordinary and dedicated educator. She has committed herself to the Hawthorne School District for 46 plus years. She has endured many personal challenges throughout her career and has shown up to work with dedication and exuding a positive attitude. She travels throughout the district, enriching classes with various projects and classroom lessons such as mythology lessons and projects or teaching the tales of Poe. Mrs. Denise is always looking for ways to enhance curriculum in classrooms across the district. Mrs. Denise plans and facilitates many field trips, including opportunities to experience the performing arts and have students compete against other towns in various challenges such as the Quiz Bowl. In addition, she is the leader amongst the Passaic County districts for the enrichment program, and her leadership shines through the facilitation of the county programs. Mrs. Denise will host the Gifted and Talented County meeting at LMS and many events in the Hawthorne School District, most commonly the Battle for the Books and the multiple grade levels. Mrs. Denise has also led the spelling bee at Lincoln Middle School. Mrs. Denise is always willing to help and collaborate with colleagues. She is a dependable employee, and Lincoln Middle School and the Hawthorne Public School District are lucky to have had her all these years. Lincoln Middle School is proud to honor Miss Denise and appreciates everything she has done for students of all grade levels. Our next honoree from Lincoln Middle School is Mrs. Amy Ngunza. Ngunza?
Yes.
Amy Ngunza.
That's it.
All right, we're just going to go. The administration at Lincoln Middle School describes Mrs. Ngunza as a hardworking and dedicated paraprofessional at Lincoln Middle School. She works very well with the student she has been assigned to. She works collaboratively with the teachers in all classes to provide tailored instruction for students. She always puts the students first and plays an active role in supporting them in their classrooms. She is also an integral part of the ARCH program at LMS and supports our special needs students. She is committed to her daily responsibilities and truly enjoys her time helping students grow and become productive members of society. We appreciate the time, efforts, and commitment of Mrs. Ngunza, and we congratulate her on this well-deserved achievement. Please join me in a round of applause for Mrs. Ngunza. Our next Governor Educator of the Year is Mrs. Irene Yetter. According to Dr. Drosky, Mrs. Yetter has been a valuable team member in her roles as a special education and first grade teacher. A well-respected veteran teacher, Mrs. Yetter continues to pursue learning by enrolling in a rigorous master's program at Felicia University. Through this program, Ms. Yetter committed countless hours to become a multisensory reading specialist. During the 2020 to 2021 school year, Mrs. Yetter vacated her first grade classroom and provided targeted reading intervention to students throughout the district. Additionally, she worked with colleagues to develop pacing guides for phonics to help improve reading instruction across the board in our schools. Her dedication to learning and helping others has been essential to getting our students back to normal after a difficult time. Frankly, I can't imagine where we would be without Irene Yetter. This year, Irene is back in her classroom providing the same level of high-quality instruction that we've always come to associate with her craft. She continues to tinker and find ways to make learning meaningful and fun for students. It is such a privilege to work with a teacher of her caliber and dedication. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Irene. Okay. Our first Roosevelt School honoree is Mrs. Evelina Maxwell. Although Although Mrs. Maxwell currently works as a special education inclusion classroom teacher, she considers each and every student to be her own. Working as an inclusion teacher requires a special relationship between two teachers in order for the class to flow effortlessly. Mrs. Maxwell works well with the regular education teacher to formulate lessons together and make learning fun. She is witty, positive, creative, fun, and friendly. She is also thoughtful, flexible, and accommodating. These are qualities necessary to make teaching an inclusive classroom successful for all. Mrs. Maxwell is constantly looking for ways to differentiate instruction and facilitate student movement to support the needs of students in her charge. Mrs. Maxwell often gives up her preparation periods to discuss student issues and class dynamics and create teacher-generated projects and games. She works with all of our ancillary staff, including speech therapists, our psychologists, learning consultants, social workers, Orton Gilliam specialists, and adaptive art and PE teachers. These staff members appreciate her and often seek out her opinion or ask something to pick her brain on issues of differentiation and behavior management, and Mrs. Maxwell is always willing to help. Mrs. Maxwell has a great reputation among teachers, administration, and her parents for her abilities as an inclusion teacher. As well as being a great teacher, Mrs. Maxwell is also very humble and does not often highlight her abilities and therefore may not receive the accolades she deserves. She is a true asset to any school, and our district school staff and students are lucky to have her. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor, Mrs. Maxwell. Next, we would like to recognize Miss Jessica Tamarchio. I can never be a flight attendant. Where would we be without Miss Jessica Tamarchio? That is something my colleagues and I wondered about many times last year. Working across the 3 schools is a challenge in and of itself. To do so in a guidance capacity as students transition back to in-person, full-day learning is simply an incredible achievement. Miss Tamarchio made connections and built relationships with students, parents, and staff members throughout our community. She found ways, big and small, to help others navigate a difficult year. Whether it was teaching a lesson to a class, making a fun video about character education, or playing Connect 4 with someone who needed a friend. Miss Tamarchio was always there to help make someone's day a little bit better. We faced some significant challenges last year, none bigger than losing our friend Cameron Davis to cancer in June. Miss Tamarchio was there throughout that process, helping our students and staff manage their feelings, grief, and questions. We are so thankful to have such a kind, caring, and inspirational person like Ms. Tamarchio in our schools, and we are very happy to recognize Mrs. Tamarchio as our Educational Services Professional of the Year. Congratulations, Mrs. Tamarchio. Our next Roosevelt School recipient is Miss Nicole Matan. Mrs. Matano is an exemplary school specialist who personifies dedication, professionalism, and compassion. In her role as a school psychologist at Roosevelt Elementary School, Ms. Matano continually provides our staff, students, and families with an enormous amount of support on a daily basis. Over the last 10 years, Ms. Matano has distinguished herself in a variety of ways. To begin, she is the lead person on the Roosevelt School Child Study Team. Her responsibilities include coordinating evaluations, collecting data, communicating with all these parties, as well as scheduling and running child study team meetings. These responsibilities are in addition to managing the individualized education plans for the students on her large caseload. Furthermore, Ms. Matano serves on the school's intervention and referral services committee and plays an integral role in determining how best to provide assistance to students who are struggling academically, emotionally, or socially. She's also a valuable resource in disciplinary situations and often has useful information regarding restorative practices and positive reinforcement strategies. Ms. Matano's daily approach provides all stakeholders with a positive presence that results in the admiration and respect of the entire school community. We are so happy to be able to honor Mrs. Matano and her efforts at Roosevelt School. Congratulations, Mrs. Matano. Last, but certainly not least, is Mrs. Diane Heffernan, Washington School's Governor Educator of the Year. Mrs. Menson describes Mrs. Heffernan as a valuable member of the Washington School staff. She has served as a special education teacher for 20 years. Mrs. Heffernan has her own unique style. Her innovation, sense of humor, and a positive attitude are what draw students to her and why they love her so much. Mrs. Heffernan truly cares about the well-being of each student. Oftentimes, she is seen sitting with a student, just listening and offering words of encouragement. Mrs. Heffernan is collegial and enjoys a positive rapport with colleagues and administrators. Mrs. Heffernan willingly accepts any role in the learning community and serves to promote student success in school. Mrs. Heffernan acts unselfishly and is always ready to support our Wildcat team. We are very fortunate to have Mrs. Heffernan at Washington School, and we are thrilled that she has received this award. Congratulations and thank you to Mrs. Heffernan.
So if we could have all of our recipients, please come back up to the front with your plaque, please, or your certificate. We want to take a picture with everyone, please.
I'm retiring and taking my pension.
Just come in, you guys come in.
Well, get everybody? Yeah. Can I stand? No. Oh, we don't have to. No, it's okay. All right, we'll start.
Mrs. Goff, I think is coming, right? So just one last thing, as we mentioned at the beginning, all of our Governor Educator of the Year and Ed Services Professionals of the Year will all be honored on Monday. Mrs. Fadden will actually be joining us as well Monday at the Brownstones. We look forward to all of you joining us for that. So one more big round of applause for
all the HTA members, we want to congratulate all of you. We have teachers, we have paraprofessionals, school psychologists. So we run the gamut this year, and we're very proud of all of you and all the hard work that you've done.
Absolutely.
And then these are like little
Is that shaking hands? I'm waiting. Sure.
Oh, God. That concludes my report.
Yeah, sure.
We are going to take a 5-minute recess, and you are free to leave if you'd like. Curriculum and instruction, Ms. Basalone.
Mr. Zach, can you close that door, please? Thank you.
That's okay. Curriculum and instruction, Ms. Basalone.
Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Curriculum and Instruction recommends the following resolutions. CI 1 through CI 3 on page 5. CI 4 through CI 12 on page 6. CI 13 through CI 16 on page 7. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Who was the second?
Mr. Shakir?
Motion by Ms. Basalone, seconded by Mr. Sakir. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ava Iovino,
Yes.
Sophia Basalone,
Yes.
Bella Palus,
Yes.
Brianna Counselor,
Yes.
Logan Sakir,
Yes.
Emily Backer,
Yes.
Xavier Clavijo,
Yes.
Leah Alves.
Yes. Personnel, Ms. Basalone.
The following resolutions are pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools. P1 through P5 on page 7. P6 through P23 on page 8. P24 through P32 on page 9. P33 through P39 on page 10. And P40 through P44 on page 11. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Basalone, seconded by Ms. Palus. Any discussion?
Yes. We would like to wish all the new hires a warm welcome, and we would like to wish everyone retiring a happy retirement.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Sophia Basalone,
Yes.
Bella Palus,
Yes.
Brianna Counselor,
Yes.
Logan Sakir,
Abstain on P27, yes to everything else.
Emily Backer,
Yes.
Xavier Clavijo,
Yes.
Ava Iovino,
Yes.
Leah Alves.
Yes. Finance and Administration, Mr. Clavijo.
Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Finance and Administration recommends the following resolutions. F1 through F4 on page 11. F5 through A9 on page 12. A10 on page 13. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Clavijo, second by Ms. Backer. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bella Palus,
Yes.
Brianna Counselor,
Yes.
Logan Sakir,
Yes.
Emily Backer,
Yes.
Xavier Clavijo,
Yes.
Ava Iovino,
Yes.
Sophia Basalone,
Yes.
Leah Alves.
Yes. Claims, Ms. Iovino.
Approval of the May 2023 bill list. I reviewed the list of bills for this month and everything appears to be in order. So in accordance with NJAC 6A:23-2:11B, C3 and C4:CL-1, it is recommended that the board approve the bill list for the month of May 2023.
Motion by Ms. Iovino, second by Ms. Basalone. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bella Palus,
Yes.
Brianna Counselor,
Yes.
Logan Sakir,
Yes.
Emily Backer,
Yes.
Xavier Clavijo,
Yes.
Ava Iovino,
Yes.
Sophia Basilone,
Yes.
Emma Christensen, Leah Alves,
Yes. Buildings and Grounds, Mr. Sakir.
Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Buildings and Grounds recommends the following resolutions. BG 1 on page 13, and BG 2 through BG 5 on page 14. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Sakir, second by Ms. Counselor. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Brianna Counselor,
Yes.
Logan Sakir,
Yes.
Emily Backer,
Yes.
Xavier Clavijo,
Yes.
Ava Alvino,
Yes.
Sophia Basilone,
Yes.
Bella Palouse,
Yes.
Leah Alves.
Yes. Policy, Ms. Backer.
PO 1 on page 14.
Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Policy recommendations of the following resolutions. PO 1 on page 14. PO 2 on page 15. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Backer, second by Ms. Basilone. Oh, sorry, Ms. Palouse. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Logan Sakir,
Yes.
Emily Backer,
Yes.
Xavier Clavijo,
Yes.
Ava Alvino,
Yes.
Sophia Basilone,
Yes.
Bella Palouse,
Yes.
Brianna Counselor,
Yes.
and Leah Alves.
Yes. Committee and liaison reports. Committee, Legislative Chairperson Emily Backer. Finance. Legislative report, May 9th, 2023. On Monday, May 8th, Governor Phil Murphy signed an A1791 S3306, which establishes a Career and Technical Education Scholars Award program to recognize outstanding career and technical education students. According to the legislation, recognizing the achievements of CTE students throughout the state will highlight the importance of CTE in addressing the demands of business and industry for highly skilled and trained workers. Under the law, the awards program would annually recognize CTE students who demonstrate a high level of academic in a CTE program as well as academically, successfully complete a college-level course or a work-based learning experience, participate in a career and technical education student organization or community service project that demonstrates the application of career and technical skills. The New Jersey Department of Education will administer the program in consultation with the Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Community Schools Bill on the Move. Several committees also met at the State House on Monday, kicking off the busier times on the legislative calendar before the traditional summer recess. The Assembly Community Development and Affairs advanced A168, which establishes a 5-year community schools pilot program. A community school is defined as both the place and set of partnerships between a school and other community resources whose integrated focus on academics, health and sciences, youth and community development, and community engagement led to improved student learning, stronger families, and healthier communities. The purpose of the pilot program would be to facilitate an establishment of community that demonstrates a commitment to the 4 pillars of integrated student supports, expanded learning time and opportunities, family and community engagement, and collaborative leadership and practice. The Commissioner of Education will identify an institution of higher education or qualified nonprofit organization whose mission is to facilitate high-quality community schools in New Jersey to maintain the pilot program. Under the program, any school district, Renaissance school, or charter school will be able to receive training and ongoing support regarding the establishment and operation of a community school. NJSBA opposes privatization bill. The Senate Labor Committee advances a measure that would establish various procedures and standards regarding the privatization of public services contracts, including those entering into the local boards of education. Among other provisions, the bill S1350 would allow union representatives of public employees to provide to preview privatization proposals prior to the socialization of bids. Require private contractors pay wages and benefits to their employees that are equal to or exceeding wages and benefits paid to their public sector counterparts. Require contractors to hire public employees who are displaced from their employment due to the privatization of services. The NJSBA opposes the legislation and publicly testified against the bill when it passes through the committee on Monday. The association argued that this bill would impose costly and burdensome requirements on school districts seeking to get the most efficient use of their finite resources. NJSBA further argues that a 2020 law already establishes various requirements boards of education must follow before entering into subcontracting agreements, while including several protections for district employees, thus making this legislation unnecessary. The bill next heads to the Senate Budget and Appropriations Committee for further consideration. This concludes my report. Finance and Administration and PCSBA, Mr. Clavijo.
Thank you. Finance Committee. The committee has not met since last month's budget hearing. On behalf of the committee, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our outgoing business administrator, Cheryl Ambrose, for her tenure with us. While she is not leaving yet, we want to extend our appreciation for her diligent work. Not only did she muscle through an ongoing multi-million-dollar referendum, but a worldwide pandemic on top of it. We wish her the best in her future endeavors. PCSBA. The Passaic County School Boards Association met last night. The meeting was a hybrid one. The in-person meeting took place in Riverdale. The meeting began with a guest speaker, Emily Blumberg. Emily is the 2022-2023 Passaic County Teacher of the Year. She is a science teacher at Passaic County Preparatory Academy in the Passaic School District. The PCSBA discussed the increase in membership costs that Ms. Goff shared with us at the last meeting. The program also had New Jersey school board officers introduce themselves and ask for board member input as to what they can do to improve. Board of Ed members were then recognized for their service, including Jack Fisher, with 50 years of Board of Ed service. A highlight to his remarks was that over the years, he has been courted for higher office, but in his consideration, there is no higher office than the school board. Our very own Hawthorne Board of Education member, Marco Totera, was recognized for achieving Master Board Member Certification. Congratulations, Marco. We are very fortunate to have you on the board. I will keep you posted on the future meetings. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Council Liaison, Ms. Basilone.
At the council meeting on Wednesday, May 3rd, there was a budget hearing and taxes will be raised 5.4%. That concludes my report.
NJSBA, Leah Alves. There is no report. HEF, CPAC, PTOs, Bella Plus.
Washington PTO asks you to enjoy some Sprinkles ice cream tomorrow on May 10th. 15% of the purchases will be given back to help support education. HEF will be hosting the Food Truck Festival May 21st from 12 to 4 p.m. at HHS Bamford Ave entrance. There will be food trucks, inflatables, a petting zoo, face painting, tattoos, and much more. Wristbands for $5 can be purchased early at Olson's Pharmacy. Flyers went home to all elementary students. Wristbands can also be purchased at the gate the day of the event. We need help. Please volunteer. There are 4 one-hour shifts from 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4 p.m. Please contact Jennifer Doyle if you'd like to help. CPAC just completed another successful color run with over 200 participants. It was the first one one since the shutdown and the first without rain. Congratulations are in order of the following winners. In the men's section, first place to Xavier Clavijo, second place to Andrew Hill, and third place to our very own Mr. Kevin Pfister. And since first and third place are here today, we have the awards. Please come forward and collect your medals.
Put it on for the picture.
Yeah, quick motion. Maybe not beat me. It's fine. It's fine. I thought the rule was do not first or last, but that's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Pose for the picture.
It's a little tangled up. That's okay.
Although they are not here today, in the women's section, we would also like to congratulate first place to Laura Walker, second place to Elena Ocampo, and third place to Stephanie Donatello. Personally, I am amazed at a handful of people that organized and ran this event, led by Dr. Alnetta Hooper. CPAC crew helping on the day of the event were Joanne Alks, Zachary Alks, Robin Crawford, Alnetta Hooper, and Catherine Willets, along with John Willets and Jason Crawford. Other members from our community, Toby Murphy volunteered and worked the food table. Jeff Frankel was the photographer, and Ryan Clark was DJ Frank. Alex and Olga Clavijo donated water to all participants and sponsored 2 water stations. Special thanks to Mayor John Lane, Hawthorne Police Department, Sheriff Burnick Passaic County Sheriff Department, Hawthorne Volunteer Ambulance Corps, members of Hawthorne, CPAC, HHS student volunteers. And thank you to our sponsor supporter Target, our bronze supporter Alex and Olga Clavijo Loan Depot and Exit Solgar Realty, SOAR Health, and Performance of Hawthorne, Jeff Frankel photographer, Moe's Guitars of Hawthorne, and DJ Frank. And to our platinum supporters, Planet Fitness of Hawthorne and Insera ShopRite of Fairlawn. This concludes my report.
Buildings and grounds, Mr. Zakir.
There is no formal report this month. However, I would like to mention that we have taken out the 2 old trailers from the Hawthorne High School baseball field. That is the end of my report.
Public be heard. At this time, members of the public may ask questions or make comments on educational issues or school matters. General comments and questions from the board related to schools district.
Miss Palouse's side. Yes, the Palouse's.
Can we speak too, or is it just for,
Whatever, you can have her speak for you, or you can speak.
because one thing I'd like to say, it's an honor to have my daughter represent me, but I'm disappointed because I'm never gonna be able to do my reports that well again.
We have one.
Okay.
Miss Basil.
So just to highlight some things about the school, May 1st was Decision Day. We loved seeing everyone in their college apparel and see where everyone's going to be going. Just a great job to everyone who was involved in the Addams family. I loved participating in my final play with some of my fellow cast and crew members up here with me. Just good job, guys. We want to congratulate Jason Harmer on his 3 film entries in the Passaic County Film Festival. With Miss Erin Trout was in attendance. While she was there, she met Carl Burrows, who is an active actor and producer and a Hawthorne high school alumni. On Sunday, the town had our first Walk for Wellness, and we are proud of Cameron Moore for speaking up as a student member of the Diversity Alliance Committee. Ms. Ehrentraut did this, the student, youth night, when she was in high school, and she hopes that one or more of us up here join her on the board in the future. And that concludes my report.
You can go.
Yeah, I'll go real quick. Thank you so much, Sophia. It's been an honor to work with you. You did a great job. Everyone up here did a great job. And as Sophia mentioned, I guess over 20 years ago, I was a student doing this with Mr. Gene Castro. The other Dr. Spirito was our superintendent at the time. And if someone told me then you'd be up here on the Board of Ed one day, I never would have believed it, but here I am. So hopefully one or more or all of you join us one day. Hawthorne's such a great community, so it'd be great for you to come back in the future and be up here for real as board members. So great job, students.
Thank you.
That concludes my report.
Good. I just have a couple quick things. Before I get into some of the sentiments I had, just I want to note just discontent in regards to the news regarding NJSIA recruitment. If you don't know, there is a, I guess the new rule that's gone into effect that will allow a recruitment to start openly in the elementary and middle school, which, speaking not on behalf of the board, but myself, my strong discontent that this is even an option. I think that it's going to put a further strain on the public school systems and allow for our athletes to thrive within our district. So I just wanted to publicly state that. Also, congratulations to all the teachers of the year and professionals of the year that were awarded tonight, as well as all the students here that came before us, as well as Paul. It's been a pleasure serving with you, and I always like your quotes at the end of the meetings. Thank you. And lastly, to all the teachers who are coming aboard and those who have retired, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention Mrs. Kathy Kirkman at LMS, who is a personal family friend who's been with the school system for a very long time, and I wish her a happy retirement, so thank you.
Mr. Clavijos?
Thank you. I would like to congratulate all the educators honored, including Mrs. Denise, who we met via PATH and enrichment at Washington School way back when. Thank you for our student representatives for signing up for this evening, and congratulations for representing yourselves so well. Good luck with your final month in school and high school, and to those who are seniors, enjoy it and take it all in. Go Bears. Thank you.
Just want to thank Mrs. Spirito District for coordinating the event. It's been it's our first time since 2019. It's great to have you guys back. Students, you guys represent yourselves very, very well, and it's an honor to work on your behalf. You know, keep making us proud. Thank you.
Ms. Iavino?
Personally, I would just like to say thank you for this opportunity. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, thank you.
Told you were going to say a lot. I also just want to extend congratulations to all of our Educator Award recipients tonight. Also, just want to share a little bit of, we've got some tremendous athletes sitting up here. I'm quite honored to have tremendous athletes on either side of me. I have a couple of all-star softball players here who are hitting dingers left and right, most recently. I'm also sandwiched between two all-star soccer players here. So hats off to you guys, tremendous athletes, very proud of you guys. and glad you guys were a part of tonight, all of you, everyone who's here. Thank you.
Ms. Backer? I just want to say thank you to all the current board members, and thank you for this opportunity to be sitting up here with all of you. It's been a great experience, and yeah, I hope to do it again sometime. Ms. Katzler?
Congratulations to the teachers, and thank you for having us, and go Bears.
Mr. Carr?
Thank you. On behalf of the board, I'd like to congratulate all the teachers who were the governor recipients award of the year. We have some unbelievably talented teachers in this district, and it's great to see that we were able to recognize them. Also, to echo the sentiments of Mr. Totaro, I believe, again, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Now the NJSIA has actually just put it in writing of what they've been doing for years, and it's a shame that they have the ability to pickpocket our athletes, and I hopefully somewhere down the line that will eventually change. And I also want to congratulate our student representative counterparts. If you look across the dais here, we are definitely looking at future leaders, whether it be in this community or somewhere in the state, or whatever you guys decide to get involved in your future endeavors. So congratulations and thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate all the teachers tonight, all the students. Thank you very much for being here. And Paul, best of luck to you. And Paul wrote his 6th book, and he will be doing a book signing June 17th, 2 p.m. at Shortways Barn in Hawthorne. Thank you.
Wow.
You just told me his 7th book is gonna be about the board.
I better be a pickle will in that book, Paul.
Thank you to Mrs. Passero and the Roosevelt kindergartners for creating the amazing Project Smile hotline that provides happiness to all that call.
I'm actually gonna play it for you. It is so cute. I was in Florida and Mr. Sprito shared it, and
thank you for calling Project Smile. We hope these encouraging messages make you smile. Please call back as often as you need to. We change our messages daily. Press 1 for Miss Charles and Miss Petrie's class. Press 2 for Miss Lumbo's class. Press 1. You are so kind. You're so beautiful. I'll play with you.
it is so adorable.
If you don't already, you should follow the Bears Decisions page on social media. College selections are announced as decisions are made.
Just as the president, the other president, it is an honor to sit up here with you. I'm so happy that we were able to do this again. As Mr. Clavijo said, it's an honor to serve you. Everything that we do is to make sure you guys have what you need to go where you need to go. Apparently I've been on the board for 10 years, so it's been an honor to serve you all for a decade. I went to Lafayette, so go Pards. But we're so impressed with everything that you guys do and continue to do, and you make us proud every day. And congratulations to all the teachers of the year. That is not a simple thing to accomplish. We are very grateful for everyone that makes up this Hawthorne community. Okay. So now,
Private session. Be it resolved that the Hawthorne Board of Education convenes an executive session to discuss exempt matters pertaining to personnel. I'll entertain a motion to go into private.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion.
I think those about Mrs. Palouse, right?
Yes. Motion.
Palouse?
Motion by Ms. Palouse, second by Ms. Backer. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Emily Backer,
Yes.
Xavier Clavijo,
Yes.
Ava Iovino,
Yes.
Sophia Basilo,
Yes.
Bella Palouse,
Yes.
Brianna Counselor,
Yes.
Logan Sakir,
Yes.
Leah Alves.
Yes.
We're gonna take a quick picture before we go into private session, then you guys can go live your